Okay, it's recording.
All right, let's criticize Kevin.
Let's go.
You guys can see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I was on Kevin already, but let's see here. So the first thing is the bus stop, right? Bus stop, and then the second sector is where you guys are losing most of your time. T1 looks
real,
pretty. Yeah, T1 looks pretty good from all of you pretty much. So going into the bus stop, can't see exactly where you guys are braking, but I would say try to aim for braking after the white line. So kind of in this area, right? So it just depends how fast you're going. Like, and before this was the line, right? Before this was the line. I don't think this is the line anymore to the bus stop because the car just bottoms out here and it's, I don't know, maybe it's just too high now. And then when it bounces back, it takes a long time to settle. And as you can see right here, you're kind of understeering and you probably got on throttle around here, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not what you want. You want to be getting on throttle like around here, right?
Sure.
The goal is get on throttle around here in this area. And to do that, the car needs to be rotated a little bit earlier. See how here it's not quite rotated. You got to wait, and it's drifting out wide. And pretty much all you guys are having the same issue. And part of it is you're trying to cut this too much. Because I think that was the line, was to cut this so much before. But I don't think that's the way it is now. I think you want to be a little bit more to the left. You still want to cut it. You still want this tire kind of over the little bit of grass, but like in here, in this area, right here, not all the way along here. And it'll depend on the cars, but the Porsche does this really nicely, where it just kind of in this area. And what that does is it just
You
sets.
leaving your left side tires on the smaller curb?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
And so now we'll go to Adrian. Right. So you guys are trying to maximize this, and hey, that's what the line was before. So the other thing I found is this: is you want to use a lot of the inside of this one. For some reason, now the way it's shaped, it just rotates the car.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get on the inside one, it just rotates the car for you, and you can even see it there, like how it just rotated the car.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows you to get on throttle early. You don't really want a lot of this one. You want to miss it a little bit, and then you should be able to go full throttle to this whole sector. And you can put your tires on this grass a little bit if you need to. But basically, you can go flat out, and then you want to be in the middle of the road pretty much. So this looks good going in there. But ultimately, it's more about when you get on throttle. Let's see what's the minimum apex speed here. 79, 80, so 70. So over the red part is 181. And then over here, we are 190. So 181, 190. And we'll compare to see, like, is it the right amount of speed? All right, so 183, so that's 2 kph more. And then right there, 190, so about the same on the exit there. But let's see. And you can get on full throttle early if you rotate the car. You see how it just getting on this curve, but the way you get on it is important. You can't be like facing this way either. You gotta. So you come in, you don't use all of it like you used to. Use most of it. And the car doesn't bounce as much. And then you can easily just get it in there with a little bit of brake. You can see there's a little bit of brake right here. And look how early the throttle comes in. Very early. Because the car is rotated already. I don't need to wait. And it might have been a little too early because then, but I was still able to keep it full throttle through here, even though it was a little early. Okay, So the other part is that this connects into obviously this next sweep in the carousel. I would say from the middle to the left is kind of where you want to be. You don't really want to be in here, and you don't want to be all the way out left. And as you're coming in here, what are you guys looking for? Like what's your reference points here for the apex? What are you guys looking for?
I try to get there at the light and then stay on the inside of that curb as long as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to hug the curb as long as I can.
I cut into that curb where that road is, so that's my first apex. And then as you start to exit, there should be a sign. And when I see the sign, that's when I start to gas on. Yeah,
This
but you
sign.
can't-
This sign.
Yep. hmm
Okay. All right. So biggest thing here is get on throttle before the access road. You got to get on throttle before the access road. And not all of you guys are getting on throttle before the access. And if you get on throttle, but your car is pointed the wrong way, then you're gonna understeer, right? And you can see I'm not really on the apex yet. The apex is kind of in here, right here, the last red square, and the way the camber of the road is, if you're too far to the left, it's just the car is just not gonna hook up. Like right here, you can see that it crests a little bit, right? It's undulating. It's like the road kind of crests a little bit and then it goes in here, it dips in. So after this area here, that area in there has a lot of grip. But if you get on throttle too hard here, then you end up in this area here. And then you understeer off. So you want to make sure you get into here.
Can you scroll back a bit when you can?
Yeah. Because then that allows you to.
All right, stop. Can you stop where you start to accelerate?
Yeah.
About 3 years earlier than I'm getting.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like I said, the goal is to get on throttle at the apex always, right? But if you can get on throttle before the apex and still make it, that's preferred. So in this case, the goal is to get on throttle as early as you can before this access road, but not so early that you understeer off and you can't get to full throttle. And you notice that I'm not at full throttle because I don't want the car to go left here. I don't want it to. I want it to stay in here, and then once I'm in that dip, then I'm at 100%. And it's just
how much you're braking,
and just nicer. The car just feels nicer through there. Let's see. There you go.
Oh, you're not. Are you just touching it? Okay,
Yeah.
so a lot less than what I'm doing. Okay.
So, bam.
You're balancing the car, in other words.
There you go. That's how much brake it was.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it is this: I'm in fourth gear, right? It's at the top of the rev range. You don't need to brake because it just engine brakes. So if you brake on top of this engine braking, it's just over slowing the car down. Just allowing it to coast here is going to slow the car down massively because you're at the top of the rev range. Unless you're in fifth gear. If you're in fifth gear, then it's not going to slow it down as much, right? So I would say that one is where you guys are losing a lot of time. And then also, let me go to a different camera. Let's say this is probably one where you guys are losing quite a bit of time. But all these are the same. That's the thing, is all these corners are pretty much, they got to be done the same. So you got to identify the brake marker, and it's about same thing as the carousel. It's about getting on throttle as early as you can without running wide, right? Or without having the car oversteer. Like you don't want the rear to over rotate. And so here there's a huge bump. You got to be careful with that bump because the car bottoms out there and it slows the car down. So in this instance, I didn't hit it enough, but if you hit it if you get your tires on the grass a little bit, then it's gonna bottom out. It's not good.